baby. Today, we get to discuss project management in Profit Mixer. That's what everyone's been waiting for. So over on my menu, it's the second one down. And as you can see, there's nothing showing. So you have all these columns so you can see things per project. I want to go all so I can see everything per project. So I need to filter it by project. So I have my projects here, and I'll go to Profit Mixer Training, and I'll apply. And all these things start showing up, pretty cool. So as you can see, I have my items listed over here. All right. I'll explain why this is red in a minute. And there's a picture, which you can upload using the Clipper, or you can do it manually. And the information for each item runs like a spreadsheet, and it hides. So you don't have to open a bubble. That's the greatest thing. So we've got the link, we've got the status, which there's lots of different options here. Pending, which is what it'll do when you, when you're starting to build a project out. Client approved, all that stuff. The vendor, the area, where is it going? Client order details. So this is what the client sees on their proposal. This is where you put that information. At ML Interiors Group, we do item, dimensions, ETA, and notes. We never say what it is. We just kind of give a vague description. So hopefully nobody shops us. Makes it a little more difficult. All right. Vendor descriptions. All right. Open that up. And it's, anything. If there was finish or anything different, all of that information would be in here. All right. Going over more, we see the quantity, the cost per item, the item cost. So if there's two, it would be multiplied and put there. This is a beaut. You can put freight, a percentage as a default for each item. So if one vendor's 12% and one's 25% and blah, 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 we kind of average it out and then it balances up. We don't mark up freight. It's not included in the markup. That's just how we do it. Prepaid sales tax, if it's a retail item, you can put that in there now. So, not everybody's, double paying tax. Total vendor cost adds all these things up. Vendor payment status. See how it says pending here? That's why it's red. So it means I haven't paid that vendor yet. So there are ways to highlight so you know what has been paid for and what hasn't. Vendor amount paid. So if there's a change, say for instance, the shipping was not exactly 20%, say it was $260.50 or something like that. I can put the exact amount here so your accounting will be easily handled when you cross-reference over to QuickBooks. The markup, it's over here. So depending on the vendor, you can put that in there. As you can see down here, additional markup. Sometimes, when it's not exactly an even percentage, I don't sit there and try to make it down to the, a millionth decimal point or anything. So I'll get a nice even 60%, but it was a little more than that. So I'll just put that difference over there. So I still get that cash for myself and I don't give it to my client. All those numbers added together are the client price. Then here's our sales tax. You can set a default based on your client's location. Sales tax on the item. Total selling price. Yes, did the client pay? If the client didn't pay, I put no, and that goes blank. When I go yes, it fills in that amount, if that's the same matched amount that you put on their invoice. So it's great. If it's going to change, I can put deferred and say they only paid, $37.70 for some reason. So they're going to owe me money, and that will show up in your accounting as well. Very, very easy. Okay, what about an item that has multiple components? So remember, on a single line, it's when you can get the shipping is done through that particular vendor, all one vendor. So if it's all one vendor, all you need is a line, okay? Unless there's multiple things from that vendor for that item. So it's called a parent, So down here, you just put the arrow. So I have this custom upholstered bed, and you can see, I'll slide over this way, but you know what? We don't need to look at everything. Let's just look at the vendor side of things, okay? So the vendor side of things is all this information up front, okay? Got the fabric. So I have fabric cut. I have TCS Designs. I have a third-party freight company. So that's why there won't be any freight associated with the bed itself, because TCS doesn't charge freight. the third-party freight company does, okay? So that's a beauty of this. So it's very easy to understand. The fabric does have freight, so the fabric being shipped to the vendor, which I can also clearly indicate when I show all. Where's the fabric going to? It's going to TCS Designs, so I can do that. Do I need a CFA? Keep scrolling. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. You can put CFAs in here if you want them. Requested, approved, denied, okay? So if you do have CFA requirements, yeah, you can keep track of them over there. And that's a great look for it, okay? Anything like that, you can put receiver fees. You need a design fee? Look at that, flat design fee. How does that work out with the accounting side? Well, there's no vendor, so don't worry about any of that because you would be the vendor. So all you need to worry about is the client price, okay? Because you're not paying anybody for this. You're not the vendor. You're sending them the invoice for it, okay? And I said yes, and I don't know why I put $1, but if they only paid $1, it would show up in your accounting that they didn't pay you everything that you wanted. All right, and just to click out, you just click to another cell. Okay. Hourly rates, you can import from time tracking. When I get to time tracking, I'll talk a little bit about that. New parent item, just anything you can do. That's how you do it, and you move things around. If you add a new item, you just do it right here. Just say couch, and there it is. Okay. It always starts out as pending. When you import from the clipper, this all gets filled in for you. Okay, it's great. It's a great step. So that's a little bit about adding items. If you want to make them into a proposal, you go over to proposal, and anything that isn't gray, because these are already on a proposal, you just click it to create a new proposal. What does a proposal look like? So I scroll all the way over here, which, as you can see, you can keep track of all of your procurement dates over here. You can put any notes in here if you want. Proposal files. So I click this. Here's a proposal. Here's my profit mixer logo that we uploaded in another video. Here are all my items right here like this. Pricing good for 10 days. I'll show you how you can customize all of your proposals to have something down there at the bottom. You can email it directly to the client and they can approve it. This is the only contact your clients will ever have with Profit Mixer, is if you email a proposal or an invoice calculation report, which is something we attach to invoices in QuickBooks, and that's how you do it. Okay, so that's basically what it looks like. You can turn it into a PDF if you prefer and send it that way. So your client can, not approve things and let you know. So proposals are really easy that way. Same with, and so when it turns green when it's been approved, okay? Invoice calculation report. So basically this is the almost like the pre-invoice if you want, but what you can do is you can link your QuickBooks account, so there's a payment link on here, and your client can pay directly from this invoice. So let me show you something. In your project settings, the cogwheel is everything. Report settings. So all these over here are reports. So in your report settings, you can configure things with the numbering, any tags if you want to put. Report language. It's not that you're reporting language. Nobody said a swear word. Pricing good for 10 days. Please contact the studio with any questions for your POs. Payment is due upon receipt. That's great. Invoice settings. Here's where you add your payment link that will appear on your invoice calculation reports. So if you don't want to go into QuickBooks, you don't have to send an invoice through them. You can put the link, they can pay it, boom, you're done. Settings saved. And that is a little bit of look at project management. You can also do tracking and expediting reports. Visual Room is very interesting if you want to see your things together. I can just click them all, continue. Whoops, that's not it. Now you saw a tracking report. Visual Room is the eyeball. Continue. Look at all these things. So if they're like, wait, I don't remember what all this stuff is, I can't remember from my presentation, you can just send them this. It's not pretty, but they'll know these are the things. So if you want to just do like here's what I'm working on so far and show them some of the items, and they're like, yeah, that looks great, but I'm not sure about that sofa. You don't have to just waste your time in a presentation. Just do it right through Profit Mixer. It's a great thing. Files. This feature is key. Do we need a quote for this? Fine, let's upload the quote. So what you click here and you pick a file. See, it went to my desktop to try to pick a file. If you saw that, sorry, but that's what it does. So you can attach your quotes to each individual item. Save them here. You don't have to clog up any storage anywhere else, but you can put them in the vault if you want to. Anyway, that's a look at project management. It's wonderful. It's very easy to use. You can batch items like this. You can create reports through them. You can sort by vendor, by area, all these wonderful things. Other ways to sort: tags, item status. Do you just want to look at the pending stuff? You don't care about client approved if it's been on a different stage of your game. Don't worry about deferred, out of stock. You can sort then vendor payment status, what has been paid, client payment status. Client payment status. All this stuff can be sorted, so you can find lots of things through Profit Mixer, report type, tracking status, all of it. So what hasn't shipped yet? What's in process? All those wonderful things. And just one last thing, tracking status after you place your orders, or if you'd like to use Profit Mixer Procurement with me, this is how we keep track of things. Orders been sent, orders confirmed, back ordered, in production, shipped, received good condition, received damage, installed. So once it's installed, you're all good to go. Put your installation date so you can look at these dates and compare everything. It's a great one-stop shop on learning project management and keeping all your things in order and up to date.